On February 13, 1945, Dresden, Germany suffered the most vicious firestorm ever, meant to destroy any military strongholds Hitler might have had in the city. It terrorized the citizens and the refugees pouring in as they fled the advancing Russian army. Dresden's population was over 600,000, but with the addition of the refugees, the number swelled to over 1 million people. On that frigid February evening, sirens screamed. Hanna quickly dressed her 4.5-year-old daughter, Brigitte. Taking the child's hand, the two walked out of the apartment and hurried down the stairs to the basement. Women and children sat on benches in the dark, dank cellar, believing it was only a drill, until bombs began exploding. "All women to the attic and douse the flames," a man shouted from the doorway. Brigitte watched as her mother climbed the steps. The women ran to put out the fire, but stopped when they saw the top floor engulfed in flames. The children looked toward the stairs for their mothers. Bombs continued crashing as ribbons of green phosphorus trickled down the basement walls. Suddenly, Hanna appeared on the step carrying a blanket. Running down the stairs, she dragged Brigitte to a corner where an old bathtub held stagnant water, threw the blanket into it, and got Brigitte's mouth open, retrieving the soggy fabric from the tub. She wrapped her daughter in its folds. Choosing to take her chances in the streets rather than face death in the cellar, Hanna picked up Brigitte, ran up the stairs and into the night. Dodging flames, Hanna hoped the wet folds would shield her child. But as for herself, she wore little armor. A dress, boots, and a coat were her protection. She hugged what was truly valuable close and made her way through the smoky streets as buildings burned on either side of her. Februarys were chilly. However, the bombs made a city of furnace. People were sucked into the fire. Cries and screaming reverberated through the night. Brigitte glimpsed the horror through the blanket's folds, but stayed silent. Hanna fell over burning rubble, furniture, and dead bodies. Neighborhoods were mangled, and smoke and fire hampered visibility. Hanna entered the Grosser Garten and City Zoo. It had been said that if there was an attack, the lions would be free. Refusing the thought, Hanna pushed onward and came upon a villa where people sought refuge. Taking the blanket off Brigitte, the two embraced. Many people complained about their losses, while others were silent, trying to cope with their grief. Hanna listened as she rested, bundled Brigitte in the blanket once more, but tighter, and stepped out of the sanctuary into the smoke-filled night. The bridge Hanna hoped to cross the Elbe with was intact. Her strength, however, was waning as she fell more often over debris and bodies. In the early hours of February 14th, Hanna was exhausted. She didn't dare peek inside the blanket since the villa Brigitte had moved, even when her mother fell on her. Hanna placed the bundle on the ground and sat with her back against the wall. With her eyes upon the blanket, she lifted her chin to the blackened heavens and offered a prayer. Out of the smoke, a soldier appeared and walked to stand beside Hanna's dirty bundle. "May I help you?" he asked simply. "I'm walking to my mother-in-law," she whispered and wheezed. "But I have no more strength." "I can carry your bundle," the soldier offered. Hanna gathered her energy, and with the soldier's help, continued west to Übigau. Frieda worried about her daughter-in-law, Hanna, and granddaughter Brigitte. There was no word of Dresden, but she'd heard the explosions, felt the earth shake, and saw the tremendous light coming from the city. She went to clean her hands after ending an old rooster's life that was to be dinner. Wiping her hands on a towel, she walked to the window. "Gypsies," she said, seeing a ragged couple moving up the walk, not ever refusing a person. She went to see what she could offer them. "Frida, it's Hannah," her daughter-in-law called. "Gott sei Dank," Frida cried, flinging the door open. Smoky, covered in soot and dirt, the pair walked to the kitchen where the soldier placed the bundle on the floor. Hannah undid the blanket with trembling hands. Feeling the pressure of the blanket lifted, Brigitte emerged, wearing with bright blue eyes, wearing a great big smile. She said, "We've been completely bombed out and I've lost everything." Hannah's tears flowed as she kissed her daughter. Frida rushed to the rooster, carried it to the child, and held it, and displayed its feathers across her skirt to serve as a distraction from the night's ordeal. The early light streaming through the window brought forth the colors of black, brown, red, and yellow in the feathers, brightening the young girl's eyes. The soldier accepted food and drink and continued on his way. Frida entertained Brigitte, while Hannah, my grandmother, tended to her injuries that would fade into scars that would remind our family of the night she walked through fire.